Quick complete color you want. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So welcome all the devotees. Thank you so much for giving your association. We are very grateful to Vishaka Mataji and Sri Krishna Prabhu for opening their home, so we all can come and do our Bhakti Krishna and Satsang. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we are
YouTube.
yeah, I'll send it. Yeah, to you.
Thanks.
Hare Krishna. So we are in the home of Paramananda God Nitai. The God Nitai which gives eternal bliss. So what a wonderful name that Guru Maharaj has given. So we are effulgently sitting there, observing all of us what we are doing. And they know what, not only what we are doing outside, they also know what we are doing inside, what's going in our mind. Yes, yes. 2 days ago, right? We had Balram Jayanti. Now we are preparing our consciousness for Janmashtami, one of the most awaited festivals in Gaudiya Vaishnava. So, yeah, so we'll get started. So again, thank you very much everyone for coming, giving your association. Let's get started. Jaya Radha Madhava No. Okay, so before we go into our prayers and all that, we have what we are going to do today. Anybody knows? Vishnu Stuti, yes. So we have Mataji who is ready to sing Vishnu Stuti. Everybody has the Vishnu Stuti? Or I will send it again. So Vijay Mataji, you all set? Okay. So please, we can give this to her. There's one more? Okay. So Mataji, please use that. So we all can. So everybody should have that copy. Otherwise, I will have to search for it and send it again. So that everything is in one place.
Shri Vishnu Iti Madirupakal Pitave Krishna Bhagavati Satvata Pungave Vipuni
Iti Matirupakal Pitave Krishna
सुखमुपगते क्वचित् विहातम् प्रकृतिमुपेयुषि यद्भव प्रवाह त्रिभुवन कमलं तमालवर्ण रविकर घोरवरं सदा मे कपुरलककुला रताननाजं विजय सखेन्द्रधिरास्तु मे नवद्या युदितुरगरजो विदुं प्रविश्व वचलुलितश्रमवार्यलं कृतस्ये शीतशरै विबुध्यमान वचि विलसत्कवचेस्तु कृष्णात्मा सपदि सखिवचो निशम्यमध्ये निज परयोर्बलयोरधं निवेश्य परसे नितयुराश्ना ऋतवति पात सखेरधि ममासु पतितकृतना मुखं निरीक्ष्य स्वजनवदा विमुखस्य दोषभूत्या Simarada Mavidyaya Charanagadi Paramastasya Mitsu Swanigama Pratigna Vidamadika Tumavadluku Radhasta धृतरथचरणो भयाचलतु हरिरिवहन्तुमिवं गतो तरीया
Drita.
विषिकहतो विषिर्नदंश शतजपरीकृत आगतायिनो मे
Shita.
शवमविशशा मत्पदार्थं शववतु मे भगवान् दधे मुकुन्द विजयरथ कुडुम्ब आततोत्रे धृतः यरस्विनितश्रिये शनीये
Vijaya.
भवतिरतिरस्तु मे मुमुक्षो यमिह निरीक्ष्य हतागता स्वरूपम् विलास वल्गुवास प्रणय निरीक्षण कल्पितो रुमाना समानकृतवत्य मुन्नदान्त प्रकृतिमगन्तिनयस्य गोपवद्भा मुनिकरण्यवर्य शङ्कुलेता सदशियुधिष्ठिरराजसूय येषा ईशनीयो मम दृशिगोचरयेष आविरात्मा नैवमहमजं शरीरभाजा हृदि देशितमात्मकल्पिताना ईदृशमिव नैकदार्कं येतं समधिगतोऽस्मि विधूतभेद मोहा Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Bol. So wonderfully recited. Yeah. It is so much, so wonderfully recited. So we are so glad. So everybody can recite. Everybody can recite. No, Prabhuji, next week we'll wait. Everybody has to recite. See, this is the opportunity where we can recite. Anybody can do it. So on that one, I'll just tell you one pastime of Jai Advaita Maharaj. So once Jai Advaita Maharaj, used to give, he was giving lecture, and there are devotees and non-devotees, everybody were there. So he was speaking about Ramayana. And sometimes, if you try to apply logic in understanding the scripture, it doesn't go through our brain. It's very difficult. So Maharaj was explaining the Ramayana and especially the pastime of how Hanumanji went from one country to another. So he said, that Hanuman is in a form of monkey. He jumped from one country to another. So one person sitting in the audience says, how come, how come a monkey can jump from one country to, how is it possible? Why not, he says, just because you can't, why do you think he cannot do it? He got a little offended, And I can, no, who told you I can do it? Oh, if you can do it, then monkey can also do it. What's the problem? So this is how it is. So we should not understand this Shastra from our mind. It's very difficult. Because immediately somebody thinks, how can somebody jump from one country to another? It's unfathomable, very difficult to understand. So when we see the scripture, Hanuman is even gone from here to the sun. So this distance is nothing for that matter. Right? And especially reciting this kind of prayers and all that, it is like that, when Chaitanya Chaitanya Shlok says, Bhakta Pada Dhuliya, Bhakta Pada Jal, Bhakta Bhuta Avashesha Tina Mahabal. So that means, if we take the dust from the feet of the devotee, if we drink the water, which is given a bathing or abhishek to the devotee, and if we take that, and what we take, the food that remnants of his prasadam that he has taken from his mouth, if you take that, it gives a lot of strength in our devotional progress. So now, if you have to get Bhishmadev's Avashesh, Bhakta Bhuk Avashesh, can we get it? Is it possible now? No. But if you sing what Bhishmadev sung, it is like his Avashesh. We are just singing that. So that means we will get the same benefit. Therefore, these bhajans have to be sung. Therefore, these stutis, Ashtakam have to be sung. Because Bhakti Vinod Thakur sang. So he is not there in this world right now. But if you sing those bhajans, that means we are taking the remnants of Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Therefore, we should recite all this. It will help us in advancing our life. Because I was talking to Amrita when he was telling me this. Once I was driving with him and we were sharing something. So it was very profound. And I said, yes, that means we should, every day we should recite bhajan. Every day we should recite this stuti. Why specifically? Why only for Balaram Puri? Why only for Janmashtami? Every day. Right? So we'll make it a practice that every week somebody will sing some Ashtakam, we'll introduce this. So everybody has to become singing Ashtakam, the different Ashtakam. Robert Cook will also sing. Everybody. It includes kids, everyone. No one is to be spared in this fancy. Okay, so with that, let's get started into our discussion. Om Adhyatmirandhasya Jnananjana Chakshurmila Yena Tasmat Shri Gurave Namah Sri Chaitanya Manavishtam Savikam Yena Bhutale Vayadovaham Karamayam Dadami Swaradam Vandeham Shri Guru Sri Radhakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sarvam 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 Parijanam Krishna Jnanam Shri Radha Krishna Balaram Namo Vishwaya Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauranga Jaya Krishna Krishna Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Shri Radha Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. So we continue study from Srimad Bhavavatam, Canto 9, passing of Vishmadev in the presence of Lord Sri Krishna. So it's a very wonderful episode that we are reading. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. So as always, there's a disclaimer that nothing is mine, everything is coming from our scripture. I'm just repeating the words from our acharyas and the scripture that I have read and the lecture that I have listened to. So if there's any glories which can go, they go to all our acharyas. And if there is any mistake that will be solely mine, so please forgive me for it. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So these are devotees who I listen to and take inspiration from. So my prayer at the Lord's feet to give me strength to speak something that will improve our Krishna consciousness. So last time we stopped at verse number 38, correct? Yes, 38. Where is the bookmark? Yes, 38. So I think we are starting 39. Yes, we are going to start from 39. So let's go to 39. Okay. So in verse number 39, Bhishmadev is saying that let my Rati, my mind, my thought process go to Parthasarathi. Right? So Parthasarathi is the name of Krishna. Okay, so we have just recited Bhishmadev. Who wants to recite this verse of Vishnu? Okay, Sri Hari has raised his hand. Fastest finger first. Okay, Sri Hari, then we'll follow him. Okay, please go ahead. Okay, very nice. So this is called courage. Oh, suddenly you realize that I don't know. Okay, who somebody can tell me? Very nice. Okay, good. Everybody should recite. This is wonderful prayers. Okay, could you read the translation for that? So this is very profound statement which is made by Shri Vishwadev. So question, we started already. So what does trance means to you? You have heard this, like going in trance and all this meditation, trance. So what is trance? What is your understanding? It is nothing, no right or wrong answer. We are discussing.
So lost in something which is not in front of you.
Lost in something which is made or not in front of you. Okay?
Thoughtless.
Thoughtless. Okay. Any other
Ultimate joy.
Ultimate joy. Okay. So we are talking about trance also. We think from the devotional perspective. What is
Lost in
trance?
Krishna, lost in consciousness, picked in
Yes,
consciousness.
Madhuri?
Thinking of something.
Bhakti, thinking of
Krishna.
Krishna.
Fully surrender.
Huh?
Fully surrender.
Fully surrender. Okay. All good answers. Think of Krishna. Think of Krishna, but there is something in that. We can add some adjective. Always thinking of Krishna. Very nice. Yeah, always very nice. So thinking, the Prabhupada defines this in the purport of the first paragraph. Let's read that. Very beautiful lines. Okay, so Akshay will read this. So always remembering. Thank you. So this is called trance. This always remembering Krishna, always seeing Krishna everywhere. Everywhere. Anything that happens, we should see Krishna's hand. We can see Krishna's hand only when something happens favorably to us. When we think this is what I want, and if that happens, our Lord is very merciful. But if something unfavorable is Krishna, what is this? You know, that's what happens. Is it most of the time? So Prabhupada is one Bhagavad who is always remembering Krishna in all circumstances. Any circumstances you take, he is always remembering. You know, so what kept Prabhupada in the good condition is three things. One is that he was taking Ayurvedic medicine. Second, he was getting the bodily massage. The devotee will give him the massage because he's old and all that thing. He will get that. And then morning walks. He will go for a morning walk. And of course, we know that how many transcendental pastimes have been spoken during morning walks, right? So these three things kept him very active. So once, Prabhupada was getting body massage and he was sitting, and the devotee was massaging on his shoulder from behind. So Prabhupada was thinking, and suddenly held the hand of the devotee and said, if I can have form, why can't this Mayavadi think that Krishna cannot have form? If I can have form, why not Krishna can have form? He's thinking about defeating Mayavadi and this, not like, it's so nice. Oh, it's good like that. When you get massage, probably you think like, here, something here, something there. But Prabhupada is thinking something. He's not a bodily plan. Please let us not think Prabhupada as a bodily plan. He may be behaving like that, but he's always thinking of Krishna, 100% all the time. All the time. So we are reading his perfect. So this is like amazing. This is like a nectar. All right. So he's such a wonderful devotee. Because here one verse comes in Chaitanya Charitamrita. He says, Smritavya Satatam Vishnur Vismartyo Na Jatuchit Sarve Vidhi Nisheda Syur Etayor Eva Kinkara. Meaning what? So, can you read that?
Yeah. Krishna is the origin of Lord Vishnu.
Ah, we can get the mic, yeah, we can pass the mic. So we can get that.
Krishna is the origin of Lord Vishnu. He should always be remembered and never forgotten at any time. All the rules and prohibitions mentioned in the Shastra should be the servants of these two principles.
Yes, Hare Krishna. So we should never forget Krishna. Never. Always remember, never forget. All the scriptures say the same thing. Either we are Grihastha or any ashram we are into, we have to always remember Krishna. And we will see throughout this, purport over the writing so much about remembering Krishna. Because Vishnu Dev is doing the same thing, isn't it? He is remembering Krishna in every condition. Such a miserable condition he is in, having so much pain, but he is remembering Krishna at that time also. And that too wonderful pastimes, not just that, oh, Krishna is, no, he's remembering something which happened. It's so beautiful. Look at when we read each and every prayers, it's so beautiful. I mean, like that, once Prabhupada was in Vishakhapatnam. So, and there are his two god brothers were there. Bhakti Vaibhavpuri Maharaj and one more was Pramod Puri Maharaj. So these two disciples of Bhakti Siddhanta were there. And their ashram, he was there in Vishakhapatnam, which was on a beach. It's a very beautiful place, and obviously there's a kirtan going on, deities are there. So very beautiful pastime. So he was there with few of his disciples. One of his disciples was Nanda Kumar Prabhu. So Nanda Kumar Prabhu was there. So one morning Prabhupada says to all his devotees, why to go and take bath, go and take a dip in the ocean, because it's so beautiful. And have some coconut water, because there's all palm coconut trees and all that. So have a good time. So suddenly Nanda Kumar become a little philosophical. He says, Prabhupada, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told that we all should be renounced. We should not be getting into this material thing and all that. So why do you think we should do this? Because in Chaitanya Chaitanya, it is mentioned that Vairagya Vidya is a Bhakti Yoga. It says Vairagya Vidya. We should be Vairagya. Means no attached to, no worldly enjoyment should be done. So why we should do it? We become philosophical. So Prabhupada immediately says that all this Prakriti that we see is part and parcel of Krishna. Is created by Krishna only. So when we see the sky, we should remember Krishna's body color. When we see the sun and moon, we should think it's Krishna's eyes. When we see this water, we should think this is a Krishna. Everything is given by Krishna. So seeing those things also within material world, we can remember Krishna all the time. We don't have to specifically go in front of the deity to see Krishna. If we understand who Krishna is, and all these are Krishna's energy, all coming from Krishna, then we should understand that this is Krishna. So Prabhupada is always teaching his disciples and through his purport to all of us that anything that we see, we should always remember Krishna. This is so important. And that's the way to live our life. Even if we are doing our home duties, our corporate jobs and all that, everywhere we are studying also. Everywhere we can see Krishna's hand. Everywhere we can see Krishna. And that's the way to remember. Because we cannot have deity in front of us every time. Can we carry deity every time? No. Right? We cannot carry. But what we can carry, we can see things around us and remember Krishna. So that's what Vishnu Dev is telling and teaching all of us. And that's the way to lead our life. Because otherwise, we will always forget Krishna. Once one devotee was telling Prabhupada, I feel I'm sometime, I think I'm sometime in Maya. Prabhupada said, no, you are always in Maya. Please sometime remember Krishna. And sometimes I get into Maya. He says, no, you are always in Maya. Sometimes you remember Krishna. Regardless of our daily activity, including chanting, deity worship, Mangalarati, all this we do, still is our mind 100% focused on that? We are not 100% there all the time. Someday we do very amazing japa, someday we are doing very beautiful day, Mangalarati, everything is going as per schedule, everything is like we are in ecstasy. Everything is there. And someday we feel miserable, even doing Mangalarati, we do Mangalarati. I have a meeting also. All these things happen. So we are not always in that Krishna consciousness. But still we have to practice. We don't have to depend on Krishna will take care of someday. No, we have to put our endeavor, we have to put our efforts also. Krishna will do his duty. So let us do our duty as well, as a sadhaka. So that's what it is. Because in Bhagavad Gita also Krishna says, so many places he says all these energies are mine. Everything is coming from Krishna. So if we understand that this is all Krishna's creation, then we will never forget Krishna. When we see sun is rising, we can see, wow, what beautiful creation has come. Krishna has done such an amazing thing. So that's how we can remember Krishna all the time. Okay, let's move on. So here, the mystic yogi tries to concentrate upon the super soul by controlling the senses from all other engagement, and thus he ultimately attains samadhi. A devotee more easily attains samadhi or trance by constantly remembering the Lord's personal feature along with his holy name, fame, pastime, etc. So it's very easy for a devotee to remember. It doesn't have to control senses. Just focus the senses onto Krishna, remembering his pastimes, remembering his leela, remembering his form, his name. Immediately we can think of some pastime. So therefore, we don't have to put any efforts to remember Krishna. Nothing. As long as we orient the scriptures, we just have to recollect that. That's it. No specific effort required, like yogis who has to put so much effort in controlling their senses. There are so much putting efforts, and it is so difficult. It's so difficult, but they do it, and eventually where they go, Brahma Jyoti, nowhere else, nothing beyond that. And in Chaitanya Charitamrita we mentioned that devotees will rather go to hell than go to Brahma Jyoti. It's not a good place to go. We should go to a place where we'll never come back. We should go to Golok, Vaikuntha, like that. So, yeah, it is.
Got a question. False ego. What does it mean by that?
False ego means we are not the body.
Okay.
We are the body, we are not the body. That's the thought process. Our real true ego is that I am the servant of Krishna. That's the true identity. So when we go away from the identity, that becomes false ego. So we should constantly remember Krishna, and that's the way we can go back to him. Right? Okay, let's go further. Therefore, the concentration of mystic yogi and that of devotee are not on the same level. The concentration of mystic is mechanical, whereas of the pure devotee, it is natural in pure love and spontaneous affection. For a mother or the child to remember each other, it's spontaneous. It's not difficult. Immediately they can remember, right? But somebody else to remember someone is so difficult. Oh, his birthday I forgot. Oh, his anniversary I forgot. But for mother, child is always in front of them. And for the child, mother is never forgotten. So we should have that kind of relationship with Krishna. We will never forget him. And then Vishmadev remember him as specifically as a Parthasarathi. Now Prabhupada makes very profound point here. Please try to understand that. Okay. Prabhupada says that the military marshal, as a military marshal, Vishmadev, constantly remember the battlefield feature of the Lord as Parthasarathi, the chariot driver of Arjuna. Therefore, the Lord's pastime as Parthasarathi is also eternal. Now we think this is a naimistic because battle will happen once and it was happened here. How it can be eternal? That question comes in our mind. And we will think like that. How is it eternal?
It's happening every different local.
You got it. Correct. So Prabhupada gives nice explanation here. This clock hand is moving. So it happened in this Bhuloka. Now there are billions of Brahmaji. There are billions of planets. So everywhere these leelas, one happen after that, it will happen somewhere else. So it's eternal. It's constantly happening. So every moment there is a leela which is happening. Every moment there. So that's how we should understand. We should not think, oh, it's happened and it's finished. No, it's eternal. It's happening. We are also eternal, isn't it? But we don't know. Because of that is false ego. We don't know we are eternal. So that is false ego. The pastime, the Prabhupada mentions the explanation here. The Prabhupada says the pastime of the Lord, beginning from his birth at the prison house of Kamsa up to the mausoleum at the end, all move one after another in all the universes, just as the clock hand moves from one point to another. So that means even that is Nitya. It's continuously happening. So, Prabhupada is giving such a wonderful explanation, so we can understand it so easily in simple English. Right? So therefore, if you study this Prabhupada's purport, all our concept about Krishna consciousness will be clear. All doubts that may be there in our mind will go away completely because we read this, we understand. And then that's how we should try to understand this verses. And in such pastime, he associates like the Pandavas and Bhishma are constant eternal companions. They are always there. Bhishma is also there with Krishna everywhere. Wherever he is there, Bhishma is giving company. Because how will you do Leela otherwise? You need Bhishma also. So Vishmadev never forgot the beautiful feature of the Lord as a Parthasarathi, which even Arjun could not see. Okay, so question for all the young boys and girls. Why Arjun could not see Parthasarathi and Vishmadev could see Parthasarathi? Why Arjun was not able to see, but Vishmadev was able to see? Why? Ah, yes. Krishna was, Arjuna was behind Krishna because Krishna is a chariot driver, so the driver is always in front. So Arjuna was seeing his back, but Vishmadev was seeing his face. So Vishmadev got more mercy because constantly seeing Krishna face to face. And Arjuna is behind, right? So that's all it is. So Prabhupada writes, that Vishmadev observed this with more relish than Arjuna because he was seeing it constantly. Looking at the beautiful Krishna is amazing. There's a pastime which comes like when Lord Krishna, those 16,100 queens were captured, and then Krishna rescued all of them. And they started crying and say, Krishna, we are sorry. This is what happened. He said, no, we thought, we compared you with lotus petals and moon, but you are much more beautiful than this. So we are sorry we compared with these things. So for example, we are giving comparison of lotus petals and moon and all that, but Krishna's beauty cannot be compared. Because we don't have any other understanding of what beauty is. We think that lotus is the most beautiful flower, so that's why it is compared with lotus. But Krishna is so beautiful that it cannot be described. It is that amazing. So Krishna is such a person, if he comes in front of us, will faint probably. It's so beautiful, amazing. Because when you see even the material bodies, we see beautiful, we see wow, kind of thing, isn't it? People just go after that. That's why you see those advertisements comes in, they use the beautiful people in that, so that we get attracted. Because everybody wants to feature like that, isn't it? So when we see Krishna in altar or Krishna in a temple, we should think that how beautiful Krishna is. Like this Parmanand Swami, such a beautiful. Go and have a close look. They are smiling so beautiful, and that's the reason Guru Maharaj has given name Parmanand. They are giving Param Anand. So please let them have their merciful glance fall upon each one of us. So please go and see them from close. Very beautiful deities are there. And Mataji has dressed them very nicely, very beautiful dress as well. So yeah, take darshan, closely darshan. Not from far, I have seen it. No, you go there. From here we cannot see. We'll go there and see them. Sometimes devotee keeps the deity small, so that we have to go and closely look at it. Otherwise we see, yeah, I have seen it. You have to go close and see them. So that we get face to face. So, and Prabhupada makes a point, all the soldiers and persons on the battlefield, Kurukshetra, attain their original spiritual form like the Lord after their death, because by the causeless mercy of the Lord, they were able to see him face to face on the occasion. So they all went back to God. All went to Gaurav, Vaikuntha, not Gaurav. They all went to Vaikuntha. So, Prabhupada writes further in the purport, we are not reading everything, but we'll go into a specific point which says, so this form, which is 10% spiritual, is a swarupa of the living being. And all the living beings who participated on the battlefield of Kurukshetra on both sides attain their swarupa as confirmed by Vishmadev. So already got it. So on this time, one pastime. So when Prabhupada was there in Kurukshetra once, and one wealthy devotee invited, the person invited him. And he is from a Rajput. Rajput means, like Kshatriya family. So he invited him, Prabhupada went to his home. They had some prasadam. And then after that, he was showing me, his ancestors. Normally in our homes also we have our father, grandfather, like that. And especially in Rajput, they will have the big paintings. He was a king, he was this, that, those kind of things. So he had showing that. And Prabhupada's giving his merciful glance on each of the pictures. And this person comes to Srila Prabhupada and says, Prabhupada, I think I was one of the warrior in the Kurukshetra war. But I have this bad feeling that I was on the other side of the war. And I was not on the side of Pandava, I was on the side of Kauravas. Prabhupada said, don't worry, you are not there. Because all those who are there, they have gone back. So how can you be there? So Prabhupada is confirming based on Vishmadev's words. So Prabhupada is walking Bhagavad. He's immediately correcting and saying, no, Vishmadev said everybody went back. So how can you be here? You cannot be here. So he's wrong. He said, don't keep this guilt feeling. You are not there. Immediately. Prabhupada connects things so easily. And that's why you see in the purport, there are so many references which come from so many scriptures. Right? And I keep searching all of this, sometimes, because you put as a reference sometimes, it becomes very helpful. But he quotes so many verses, it's unbelievable. So Lord Krishna was not merciful only to Pandavas, he was also merciful to the other parties because of all of them attained the same result. Everybody went back. Everybody got their own swarupa. This is the mercy of Lord Krishna. Even unqualified people are given the mercy. Especially in Kali Yuga, that is more prominent. Even people who are not qualified, able to chant. You don't have to take birth in a Brahmana family. Anyone can chant. Anyone can worship Krishna. Just follow those principles. That's it. It's so simple. And this process is absolutely working. Absolutely working. So, what is he saying is further that Vishmadev wanted the same facility also, and that was his prayer to the Lord. Although his position as an associate of the Lord is assured in all circumstances. So he's saying he's assured that he will go back. But still he was praying. He was praying that please keep in this. If you see all of our acharyas, they keep praying, I am Madham, I am this, I am not qualified. In their all bhajan prayer, you will see these are in the last line. That I am a very fallen soul. Bhakti Lord Thakur saying I am a fallen soul. So where are we then? There is no comparison. But this is the humble position that I am not qualified. Krishna, please help me. Please take me back to God. So these are their prayers. All the time we see this happening.
So is it, Prabhuji, I was actually reading about this because we've been learning about this since the last few classes. So is it that Vishnudev had the boon that he could choose his time of death,
Yes.
and he just wanted to be doubly, triply sure that he goes to Krishna. So he was doing all this because he did not want to die in the wrong time. So he was waiting for the right time and to die so that he can go to Krishna. And then he was praying to Krishna all that time.
Yeah, so he had a boon that he can choose the time of death. Even today's world, there are yogis who can choose the time. That I will leave body and they find the auspicious time. Like we studied in this, right? In Uttarayan time, they choose the time. That time they go back, right? So there are a lot of mystic yogis, they have this power. They can choose.
So he knew that also, Prabhuji. So he knew that, since he has got Krishna's glance, he will go to Krishna. But then he also wanted to choose the right time so that he can again make sure that he goes to Krishna.
Yeah, so that's what devotees always do that. I don't want to take any chances.
No chances, right?
Because I know that my ticket is assured. I still want to make sure that I want to 100%.
He was not giving any stone unturned.
Yes, so same thing. We should so much to learn from Vishnudev. And then too, he remained in this condition for 6 months. In such a wounded condition, he was lying on the battlefield for 6 months. And there was nothing he could do. So imagine how much painful condition it is. Sometimes if certain people have disease and say so painful, they say just give me something and let me leave my body. There are people who say this condition I cannot leave. But see, Vishnudev is teaching so much. And for that he had to go through so much pain. So much pain that Krishna will come, I will see him, then I will go. It's not easy. So Vishnudev is teaching us so many principles in life which we can try to implement. We have to imbibe certain qualities. Right?
Yeah, actually, I heard that Vishnudev went through a lot of painful journey because he disrespected Draupadi during the Draupadi Vatna. That was one of the reasons that.
Yeah, so there are many reasons which are there because see, whatever we have done, regardless of who we have to pay for this in this life. Nobody is an escape. In fact, I think we talked about this story, right? There was one devotee who was worshipping Shaligrama all the time, right? And then one day he was every day worshipping so nicely that Shaligrama even speak to him. Will speak to him. And he will speak and reveal his heart and all that. And Shaligrama told you will come back to me after this life. So one day somebody knocked his door and he opened. And he found there are about 9 people standing with, the daggers and all the stuff to kill him. So he goes out and says, what is this? Oh no, you had done something many years ago. Maybe you have forgotten, but we remember. So we take the revenge of that. So this devotee says, okay, hold on, give me a few minutes, I'll come back. So he goes inside and tells Shaligrama that, what is this? You told me I'll go back in this life, and what is you sent this 9 people to kill me? Yes, it's arranged for you because you have done some karma, but then you need to pay. If you don't do it, I made it really easy that you can die in one shot. Otherwise, you will take 9 births. So what do you want? He said, all right. So he went out and then fight, and then he went back. So this is how it is. So we have to pay price for whatever karma that we have done. We have to go back. But Krishna will cut the knot when you don't have to take 9 births. He will help us in this way. So like that. So
he doesn't have to come again next birth.
Correct. Again go through the same cycle, so much.
He got the result in the same birth.
Same birth. Exactly.
That is also mercy.
Yes, that's a mercy. If you are told, okay, you'll die now and then you don't take another million births. Okay, perfect. But we may not be ready. If Krishna comes and knocks on the door, okay, man, come on, let's go. Go. I have so much work.
It's like you can have less pain in 9 births or more pain in this birth. So I don't know how many of us will choose more pain in this birth.
Very difficult. It's not easy. See, unless we are in that platform that we want Krishna only, then this type of decision can be taken. But then we are attached to so much worldly things. It's difficult. I have to see my daughter, I have to see my son graduate, he has to get married, I have to see my grandchildren, so much attachment, so much. We can never have that. It's very difficult. But we have to practice and pray. Prayer will help. Prayer will definitely help. The conclusion is that whoever dies looking on the personality of God within or without attains the Swarupa, which is the highest perfection of life. So within and without. What is within mean?
Within yourself.
Yeah, if somebody is not able to breathe, there is in coma and all, everybody is always remember Krishna. At the time of death, you will be able to just think about that. That's within, and without, outside. Like when one of our senior devotees' father was leaving his body, he has created a wall. Everywhere there is Krishna, Krishna, even on ceiling, everywhere. So he was seeing different forms of Krishna all the time. So he has nothing else to see. They did not have any picture of the family member in front of him. Only this thing. There's a Prabhupada tape going on, there's a Bhagavatam reading happening. So making sure that he does not remember anything else. Otherwise, at the time of death, everybody will remember the family members. Everybody.
And they will call the family.
Yeah, please call. I have to see him. I have not seen him.
Yeah.
Please call. Yeah, nowadays people can't come, so they'll do some FaceTime or something. You know, all this is possibilities. I remember my mother's father, my grandfather, when he left. He was always remembering my mother because my mother was the eldest daughter. She is an eldest daughter. So he was always remembering him that please call her, call her. At that time, I was also very young, so I had no idea what to do. But that was the case. He was remembering my mother at that time, nobody else. So this is what happens. And he was very pious, like he will wake up at 4 o'clock and he will do arati and everything was happening. Like, he was a very ritualistic person. So I'm sure he will get some nice destination. But thing is that even by doing those kind of bhakti, we cannot get Krishna. Krishna is not so easy to get. But once we get it, then all our pain will go away. So that's what we should do. Yena kena prakarena. Yena kena, kaise bhi karke, Bhagwan ko yaad karo. Yena kena prakarena mana Krishna niveshaya. Put our mind into Krishna. Whatever we do, we'll bring back our mind. Mind will go in 1,000 places. We'll bring it back and focus on Krishna. That's where the impact will come. Otherwise, it's very difficult. So, what kind of muktis are there? Anybody knows what are the different muktis that we can get? Here, this talked about every goddess Swarupa. Different muktis are there. There are 5 types of mukti which are mentioned. Anybody know what are those? 5 types of muktis. Swarupa, Savijaya, Chalukya, yes. Then Samipya, and
Sayujya.
Savijaya is the Sarstri. So here is the one stroke which comes in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Adyapesi mukti haya pancha prakara salokya samipya sarupya shastri sayujara. There are 5 kind of things. So salokya means you can live in the same planet where Krishna is living. We can live in the same planet. But these are all Vaikuntha. None of this is Goloka. Okay? So don't think this is Goloka. These are all in Vaikuntha. And of course, Savijaya is nobody is want to take some, which is Brahman, which devotee doesn't want to do. So now one may think that if this is what is the devotee's place? If we are not here, then where are we? Where are we? Where will we go? What kind of mukti will we get? If we are Krishna conscious, if we have to go back to Krishna, then which mukti we will get? Because this mukti is going to take you Vaikuntha. All these 4 types of muktis, and one is Brahma Jyoti. They will all Sarokya, Samukya means we'll get the face and body feature like a God, we'll live in the same planet, we will be associate of the Lord. All this will happen. But these are all Vaikuntha. Devotee does not aspire for any of this. Because he's like, you want to go to, from here, you want to go to, excuse me. If you have to go to, from here to Vrindavan, we will not stop here in Doha, say, okay, I'm here, fine, Doha is okay. This beautiful place, I want to stay here. So, you want to go to Vrindavan, right? So what is that called? So here, Prahlad Maharaj is giving this verse in which he says, Vimukti, which is special mukti. Special mukti, this is what the devotee aspire for.
So not
Where-
the other side.
No, they will take you to Goloka, which is halfway. You don't go Goloka, you want, sorry, Vaikuntha. But we don't want to go to Vaikuntha. We want to go to Goloka. You've seen the chart, right?
Yes.
Chart, Vaikuntha is here, Goloka is much above that. So all this mukti will take us to Vaikuntha, which is also a spiritual planet only. Those who want to go can go there. But if you really want to be with Krishna, then it is in the Goloka. So devotee always aspire to go to Goloka. Yes, you have a question?
Wait, is it, wait, all the supreme lords are above Michael and then demigods are in the
Demigods are even below Brahmaji. They are in the material planet.
I didn't yeah,
Yeah, they are also there. Jagannath Puri is there, is above Vaikuntha. Jagannath Puri is above Vaikuntha. So you have seen the chart which is in our home. Maybe I'll probably send that picture, which has got how the, all the different parents are there. Yeah, so in that Jagannath Puri is there, everything, Navadvipi, everything is there. So which are the boundary of Vaikuntha, Goloka. Goloka is in the center, everything else in the periphery. Like that. So that's what we get. It's very important to know that what kind of mukti that we want. So we don't want anything else. We don't want to settle for anything less, right? We always try to get best job, high paying job, best clothes, everything we try to do best. So why not the final destination should be the best? So this final destination reminds me of some past time. So once if you have heard Swayam Bhagwan Keshav Maharaj, he's from Bhaktivedanta Memory in London. He was giving one lecture, he was mentioning that once they were going to some devotee fast, so when they go to the funeral place, so put a Google map and they were going. So finally it reached. So Google says, hey, welcome home. He said, you have arrived at your final destination. And that is our final destination. Krishna consciousness teaches us how to die, not how to live. Everybody says art of living, but Krishna consciousness teaches art of dying. Okay, that's a final exam. That is our final exam. All this life is given to us to prepare for that. That will I be able to remember Krishna at the time of leaving my body? What will be my consciousness when I am leaving this body? That is what we have to practice. The Bhakti Yoga is about controlling our senses. Is focusing senses onto Krishna, because that's the only way. We cannot control senses. We can only divert, attention of senses from one place to another. Sense wants gratification. Our tongue wants some delicious food. So instead of going into restaurants and eating something, eat Krishna Prasad. Our eyes want to see something beautiful. So instead of seeing mundane pictures, now that look at the beautiful darshan, daily darshan that we get on various temples. When we see the morning picture which comes, Radha Madan Mohan, it's beautiful. We can think how much efforts these pujaris are making. Gansha Prabhu, Chitra Virya Prabhu, they are putting so much effort, and they're daily, every day you have to dress up so opulently. And without forgetting, without getting tired, they are doing such a wonderful dressing. Every day we are able to see that. And Aarti happens on dot. That's the power of Sri Prabhupada's movement, where everything is on time. Worldwide, all the temples follow the same regime. 4:30 Mangalarti. When Mangalarti will happen, Shank will blow at 4:30 in every temple. So this is also like a Nitya Leela. every 4:30 is changing, time zones difference. Everywhere there's a conch shell is blowing. Somewhere around that. So, yeah, that's what it is. So we have to always think of, remember Krishna all the time. And one of the devotee who's very amazing in Srila Prabhupada's movement, the chairman last time, because this pastor was narrated when we went to Washington. Washington, we went for initiation at the time. That didn't happen for some reason. And Radhana Sai Maharaj was over my introduced home program for that. He was sharing one beautiful pastime. So we are deviating a little from topic. Is it okay? We just hear some pastime. Okay, story. So, yeah, story. Okay. I'll put this. So once, it is 1970, 1971 time. So at the time, the Vietnam War was going on. So all those who are in college and all that, as soon as you turn 18, you'll be trained in military camp and you'll be sent to the front to fight Vietnam War. So this young boy who was like a football player. So football is not that football that we play in India. Here it's called soccer, right?
Here it is football.
Yeah, football is like kind of rugby, something like that. That's football here. So he and his couple of friends were very good football players, and they all were like friends, thick friends. And they were, as soon as they become 18, and they graduated from the college, they were taken into the military camp. And they were all trained. And somehow this young boy was very expert in shooting. And he became very expert. So the trainer of that said, let's keep this boy here to train others. Teachers training program, you might have heard it, right? So he said, okay, he is good, so he will train others. So let's keep him here. So that's why he was kept here, because he was a great sniper. He can shoot, and he has to train others. So all other his friends, they were taken to the front in Vietnam for fighting. And he was training here. And few months later, he was hearing that all of his friends who went there, they all have died. It is mentioned that almost like 50,000 young Americans died in that. And so all were in the age of 18 to 22, very young. They all left. So they all have, like, at that age when you die, you have so much to achieve in life. So you have so many dreams. I want to do this, I want to achieve this, I want to go here. Everything was gone. So this person got a shock of his life, saying, oh, everybody is gone. What is there in life? He's saying this is not good. So he left the military camp and he says, I will go and do something else. So he went back. He went to the college to study further. So while he was gone there, in the summer, the campus is all empty. Everybody goes home and all that. But this boy did not want to go home because he will remember those old memories of friends and all that. It will haunt him. So it will be more painful. He says, let me not go home. Let me not go there. I will rather stay here. So he stayed there. And he was staying with three other boys. So he had a room. And then one day he was walking on the street and he saw these Hare Krishna people, they were chanting and distributing books and all that. So he was got attracted by them. So he struck a conversation with them, saying that what is this, who are you, and all that. And they started discussing. And they were talking about how to we are teaching about how to live body, how to prepare for death. And he was like, okay, like a discussion going on. And somehow they got attracted, and it says, we are looking for some place to stay. If you have some suggestion, please let us know. So there, they had Prabhupada's senior disciple, Vishnujan Swami was there, and he was talking to this young boy. And he said, yeah, please come stay with me because I'm supposed to be with my three friends, but because of summer, they all have gone home. So I'm alone, so you can stay with me. So they said, okay, we'll go. So they went to him. They stayed with him. And they had their own regime. Waking up early in the morning, doing Mangalati, because they will carry the deities, everything with prasadam, everything was going on, and one was like amazed how they are doing daily activities, so busy since morning till evening, and then they go for book distribution, do some sankirtan on the road and then come back. And this was fascinated by that. Wow, this is a life. I should live like that. That's why his inclination was going toward that. What is this like? What I'm doing here? So when he was doing that, he saw that when they were offering the prasadam, they were offering prasadam, all that in the paper cups and all those stuff because they will not have anything. But they were offering, they had one silver spoon. So these young boys saw the silver spoon. So that somehow stuck in his mind. Silver spoon. These are supposed to be renounced people. How come they are carrying silver spoon? They should not have silver spoon. They should not have anything with them. So that's his renouncement. So after then he asked them, you are supposed to be renounced and all, but you are carrying this silver spoon. I mean, aren't you supposed not to have possessed anything? He said, no, this is not for us. We are not using it. You can see we are offering to Krishna is for Krishna. He said, no, but how come you have this? You are carrying it. You are talking about Krishna, but where is Krishna? You are having it. The young boy said, and he's arguing. He said, it's yours. It's in your possession. So it's yours. How can it is Krishna? No, but we are using it for Krishna. Somehow the boy couldn't get convinced. So next day morning, before he woke up, they had what? Because their books distribution, books were over and the time was up. They have left. And instead of disturbing early in the morning to waking up and all, they just left. But they left a note for him. And when he woke up, he took that note. And he picked up a note and he saw there's a silver spoon there. And they wrote, this is for you. So then he realized that they were really renounced. And he was trying to look for them. Where are they? Where they were. There are no phone call, nothing was there. There was no contact details. But somehow he knew that these are the Hare Krishna people. Somehow he found it. And then he joined the movement. And then he became a great sannyasi in the movement. So his name is Indradhyumna Swami Maharaj. So if you hear his lectures, they are so amazing. Especially he talks about the pastimes in Vrindavan. So beautiful. You can just go to Indradhyumna Swami official, the YouTube channel, look for this. We have this Janmashtami coming up. So we can look it up and learn so much. So we are in this amazing parampara. We are in such a wonderful parampara where we have great sannyasis, how they have come into Krishna consciousness, and they are all teaching us. They are teaching us the highest truth of our life. So we should not waste even a moment in thinking something else. We should always think that when will I get time to chant? When will I get time to read? If you are getting distaste in the material world and we are getting more taste for doing this activity, that means we are making progress. That is a measurement of our Krishna conscious progress. Am I going to the answer? Sorry. Let me see. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. I think we can hear without that also. Is it okay? We can hear? No, that's okay.
Yeah, this one works. This one works.
Thank you. So we are in this amazing parampara, dear devotee. So we should not waste even a moment to do something else. Whenever we have a few moments of our time, we should immediately bring up, always carry some books like, I got inspiration from our Robert Prabhu. Ever since I have seen him, first time I saw him, and I think I saw him at Kunal Prabhu's Hinamati's home first time when I came there. And he will always carry this book and this bag, the same bag he is having still now.
I've had this back for 35 years. I got it from the very first devotees that I met.
Yeah.
Back 35 years ago.
Yeah, so since how it's preserving, and he's reading book, he's always carrying those books with him. And he's always reading, and as you see, everybody, when he came, we're still struggling to fix this technology, and he was chanting. So he always wants to be that. So we can learn from each other. It's all about learning from each other, we devotees. We don't have to go outside and look for inspiration. Inspiration is always around us. It's up to us how we take those things. Right? Because last night, Bilas Prabhu texted me saying that, Prabhuji, my bead bag, my beads are broken. I said, what happened? I said, I've been chanting for 18 years. I'm like, okay, Hari go. So I brought one beads from him. So we'll give it to him. So anybody who needs beads, bead bag, kanchi mala, these are all our, instruments to go back to Godhead. So this is a facility that we get. So anybody needs it, please let me know. We'll arrange for that. Because these are important things in our lives. Okay, so we'll do one more verse. I think we still have time. It's just 8:30. So let's go to one more verse. I think we end at 3. Let's see how much we can do. Okay, so here, look at Bhishmadev. Bhishmadev is not just remembering Arjun and Krishna in the battlefield. He is remembering Krishna's pastime in Vrindavan. So, he's thinking of everything. So let us read this. Okay, so who wants to recite this? Ava, okay. Please go ahead, Ava. So we'll follow her. Yes, but you want to read the translation?
Sri Krishna, whose emotion itself of love attracted the masses of Rajadamna. The gopis, the Damnu imitated the characteristic moves of the Lord after the appearance from the Rasadam.
So here the question may come, who is the best devotee among of Krishna? Is Arjun the best? He is a great devotee, no doubt about it, right? But Vishnu is also thinking about the best devotees, the gopis of Vrindavan. And that's why he's meditating upon them. So because nobody can match the love of gopis with anybody. This is not possible. They gave up everything for Krishna. They gave up everything. So especially in the Ras Leela, when Krishna called them by the flute, sound of his flute, they all gave up everything. They gave up everything. Family, their husbands, and they did not even care what people will think. Most of us will act what others will think, isn't it? That's how we behave. And but gopis did not do that. They just wanted to please Krishna. They just wanted to give up everything for Krishna. So when we have that kind of devotion, which is very, very rare to achieve, but we all can aspire to achieve those kind of things one day in our life. But how can we love Krishna that everything else becomes insignificant in front of that? Whatever is very significant today, we have to make it insignificant. How? By making Krishna bigger. Like, when I was a child, we used to tell in the school, okay, they drew a one line and say, now make this line shorter, but you cannot erase the line. So what we have to do? Draw a bigger line, right? Draw a bigger line on top of that. So that becomes automatically short. The same thing in our life, when we make these things have more importance in our life, right? then what we will do? We will make, we don't have to reduce that. We will just make Krishna more important in our life. That's it. And automatically all these things will become insignificant, slowly, slowly. And Krishna will give the way to come to him. Krishna shows the way to come to him. Krishna will facilitate those things if we are sincere. If we are sincere, Krishna will definitely show way. But we should have the eyes and ears to catch those things. He is telling us as a Paramatma, he's in our heart and he's constantly guiding us. Please read this, don't do this, isn't it? He's telling us when you pick up something and trying to do this, our mind is telling, don't look at it, one after another is going on. But somehow we still stay glued to that and then end up spending like hours on the phone sometimes. But our Paramatma is telling, but mind is uncontrolled. And mind is saying, no, I want to see this. I want to look at this. And that keeps on happening. So that's where it is mentioned that Prabhupada writes here, look at this verse. The equality is one of perfect ecstasy where the differential conception is completely eradicated. For the interest of the lover and the beloved becomes identical. I mean, if we are in the same platform with Krishna, we cannot be, but look at these gopis. They are not thinking they are there, but they are behaving as if they are there and they want to give everything to Krishna. Right? So we should, many times this Rasa Leela is very misunderstood by people. So we should not read it until your consciousness is very clear about Krishna and who Krishna is. If you are not clear, if you read this, we will get further confused. So we should not touch this part. Right? In fact, Canto 10 should not be read until we have full clarity on who Krishna is. And we have read at least Canto 9. Then we can touch 10th Canto. And then we can understand those aspects. Otherwise, it will create a lot of disturbance in our mind and we will create disturbance in others' life as well. Okay. So I think we have 2 verses. We can do that. So we can complete Bhishma Stuti. Is it okay?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So now Bhishma is remembering Krishna at the Rajasuya Yajna. So Rajasuya Yajna, Krishna is remembering. So let's see. Okay. Who wants to recite now? Go. Wow. I'm so inspired. Come on.
Translation or
No.
Oh. Why? Your mama will help you.
Mama Deshi Gocha
Okay. Who has not read yet? Kavish has not. Kavish, please go ahead.
The greatest assembly of all the men of the world, the royal and learned orders, the great assembly for Lord Krishna was worshipped by one and all at most exalted personality of God. This happened during my presence, and I remembered the incident in order to keep my mind upon the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. So he is remembering when this Rajasu Yajna was done by Yudhishthira Maharaj. It was very opulent. They have to send horses and everybody should accept that yes, Yudhishthira Maharaj is the king and I will obey him. And it requires, Prabhupada writes, it requires millions of dollars to do that yakya. So today it is not possible. We cannot, we do little home here in home. The priest will charge $50 and say, this is too much. So yeah, and plus the Vedic mantra that have been chanted in the proper pronunciation, otherwise they are not effective. All these things, finding the pure ingredients, pure people who can chant very accurately is very difficult. So we should not perform these yakyas. It's not going to be very helpful. But Yudhishthira Maharaj performed, and Krishna was the chief. He was a chief, like chief guest you have, right? Everything you do, you have a chief guest. So Krishna was there as a chief guest. So there's a Agra Puja, which means the first person who to be worshipped. So Krishna was worshipped, and that's where those leela took place, right? Where Shishupal got angry and envious and those things. But Vishnu is remembering that how everybody was worshipping Krishna at the time. Everybody was worshipping Krishna at the time. So he's remembering those forms. So the question may come, here's the question. How can we remember Krishna constantly? Okay?
Have a picture first.
Picture in front of him, okay. Or friend of us, yes. So what does it mean? What is the picture present? What does picture represent? Form of Krishna. Very nice. Okay, that's what I was looking at. Okay, what else? Form, yes. Watch TV. Okay, Krishna, little Krishna. Okay, okay. So watching pastime of Krishna.
Yeah.
Okay, very nice. Pastime. I was like, when I watch TV, suddenly, okay.
Always thinking.
Always thinking. Always thinking. Who said?
Me.
Oh, she is saying. Oh, it's coming from here. I'm sorry. I thought Jaisri Radhe is watching. So how come this voice? I'm seeing from TV. HDMI connected here. That's why. I mean, who's speaking from TV? So I didn't expect, I was like, and so I think, oh. Yeah, okay, got it. Thank you, Jai Shri Radhe. I got it now.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Abba. Name of Krishna. Yes, very nice. Name is
Chanting Krishna.
chanting Krishna. What is chanting means? The name of Krishna. Name of Krishna. Yes. Yes. Akshay, you have raised your hand? Yes, reading pastimes. What all we can do? So name, form, pastimes. Some more.
Whatever activity you do, just.
Activity. Yes, look at this. Name, form, fame, activities, pastime. These all things we can do and remember Krishna all the time. And anything that we are doing, we can always remember these things. It's so easy. We have to just think about this. This is what it is. But to know this, what we have to do? To know all this thing, what we have to do? We have to read. We have to listen. Shravanam Kirtana. Sadhu Sangha, exactly. That is the first thing. We have to do this, then this will come. If you have never read it, suddenly you go for an exam, question will get confused, right? And say, I don't know what is this question. I've never seen it before. So you have to read it. So that's why you have to read about Krishna, his form, his Leela. Then we can say, oh, in Govardhan Leela, this happened. Oh, this Agashur was killed like this. Then we can remember all those things, right? Name also, we see Radharaman, we can remember what pastime happened, how this deity got his name. Radha Gopinath, what does his name means? Mukunda, what his name means? Then we can meditate. And when we call the children with their names, we can say, okay, what means, right? So this is how we can constantly remember Krishna like that. Okay, so now another question. So how different devotee in different bhav can remember Krishna? So say Madhuri does, how they will remember?
Gopi.
Pastimes of gopis, yes, Madhuri does. Okay, next. Samkhya Rasa. With friends.
Arjun.
Yeah, the cowherd boy.
Balaram.
We spend time with Balaramji. all those things. So this is Sakya Bhava. Then Vatsalya.
Yashodamaya.
Maharaj, now they are doing this last time, right? Rohini. Yeah, not Rohini. Devaki and Vasudeva. Not there. But here it is past time which he actually did. So it should be Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj. Then Tasyaras, Sudama, Hanumanji. How Hanumanji was serving Lord Ram. See, Hanumanji is an exemplary example in terms of Dasyaras. How much he was serving Lord. He had nothing else. He just wanted to please Lord Ram. No expectation. Nothing. Whatever Lord Ram says, he will say, I'll do it. I'll take care. So we have to think that how can I serve Krishna? In this one, I want to serve Krishna in the way he likes it. Serving doesn't mean the way we like it. Normally it is like in devotional, it's like whatever way I like it, I will serve preaches. But there are standards that we have to follow. That's what we can do. And in Shantarasa, how the cows give milk. If you see Venugit, how they become statue when Krishna's flute is being heard, that means we should get absorbed when Krishna's pastimes are being spoken, when Krishna's leelas are being spoken, then we can get absorbed like this and completely become Sthita Prajna, completely absorbed. No movement can happen. So this is how we can remember devotees in a different bhav. Because if you ask a devotee who is in Madhurya bhav and say, think Krishna in terms of Sakya, say, no, I'm not interested. They may not be able to do it. So everybody has a different bhav here. Everybody want to remember Krishna in a different way, right? So we can continue to remember in the bhav that is coming in our heart, which is very natural to us. We should not force. Oh, he is remembering like in a motherly way, but I want to do it in a friend way. We can do it that way also. No comparison there. Okay, so last words of Bhishma Stuti. We just came in 42. I think 42 is gone. I think I made a. I think there's a copy paste error. So I'm sorry about that. Yeah. Okay. So please open up the one verse that we have sent. I think it will have. See if you can bring it up. And who wants to recite that verse? Verse number 42. Kavish, you want to try? Or not yet? Who? Solo? You too? You did it today, na? Okay. Okay, then we will also do it. Pratidrishyamiv nai Pratidrashamiv nai dhakamekam samadhigatosmi vidurame. So here, yes, you have a question? Sorry? Translation won't be there. So let me read the translation here, verse number 42. Yes, Mata, you have? Yeah, please go ahead. Yes, go ahead, Mata. Read better. Haribo! Thanks. See how much he has managed to read these difficult words. So very nice, very good. Very nice. So this is how we should all practice. We don't have to see these are family. In family, we don't shy, we are not criticizing each other, we are encouraging each one, right? So even if you don't know, we should just try. I want to make a practice. Can I do it? Yeah, just do it. Yeah. So yeah, so here Vishwadev is now finally saying goodbye to Krishna. He is want to just meditate upon Krishna. And he's confirming that Krishna is there in everyone's heart. He is there in everyone's heart. But he also acknowledges that Krishna is in front of him. That's what it is. It's such a, when the pure devotee remembers Krishna, Krishna will manifest in any form in front of them. We have to remember Krishna from our heart without any expectation. And when we do it, Krishna will come. Like in case of Vishwadev, he came because Vishwadev had a desire. Vishwadev couldn't speak, Krishna, please come. Had he called Krishna? No, but he had a desire to see Krishna in his heart. And because Krishna is in everyone's heart, Krishna understood Vishwadev wants to see him. So he came. And that's how this whole pastime happened. So we can see that, how wonderfully Krishna reciprocates to his devotees' prayers. Krishna will always reciprocate with his devotees' prayers. So if we have prayer, even if you want something material, pray to Krishna. Then Krishna will make sure that those material desires will go away someday. Krishna will ensure that those goes. Okay, you want that, you are coming to me, no problem. I take care of that. Like sometimes the child will come to father and say, I want that, I want it. Obviously, they will go to father only. But father will say, okay, we'll do it someday. And then after a few days, they will forget or they will divert their mind and it's taken care of. Right? And they will forget. The same thing Krishna will also do. Krishna will give forgetfulness. He will give something higher taste. So that we don't go to this lower taste. Because Krishna wants all of us to go back to him, come back to him. So please come, I'm waiting. But we are enjoying. Like a child when they are young, and Krishna also shows through his pastime in Vrindavan that when his cowherd boys they are playing, sunset, Yashoda Maya is calling, he is not going home. Krishna is not going home. Because he thinks this is my time, I have to enjoy this. He's not worried about future. He's thinking this is the time. So the same thing even today, the kids are playing, they are playing, they forget about eating, they don't eat, they don't drink water. They are so busy enjoying those activities, thinking this is my life. If that moment is taken away, they become very miserable. They cry, they create tantrum and all that. But Krishna is teaching that is what we should do. This is naimitic, means this is temporary. We should go for naitik, which is permanent, eternal, which is serving Krishna. So here, Vishwadev is now completely absorbed in Krishna, completely meditating upon Krishna. He has removed all the pastimes and he is now leaving his body. So we'll let Vishwadev leave his body, otherwise he will still be in painful condition. So we'll let him leave the body today. Okay. So now it's called Nirvikalpa Samadhi. So what is that?
It's behind.
Sorry?
You just have to it's like behind the picture.
Oh, it's behind. Okay, that means there's something wrong with this. We have to fix this. I will just come here. Okay. Yeah, so basically what happens is that Vishwadev is now living, and that's what is narrated here by the Sukadeva Goswami. So you can see this. Why is it not? Okay, now it should work. Okay, let's go back to the slideshow. Is it happening? Still having the same thing?
Shlok is
Okay, slowly visible?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah. Okay, we'll see about this one. So let's recite the verse. Krishna evam bhagavati manovakruti krutibhi atmani atmanam avesha so antasva uparmata. Okay, so let me read the translation. This Sutta Goswami is saying, Sutta Goswami said, thus Vishwadev merged himself in the super soul, Lord Sri Krishna, the supreme personality of Godhead, with his mind, speech, sight, and action. And thus he became silent and his breathing stopped. So look at this. Prabhupada is saying that what happened? Sutta Goswami is narrating here. He is saying that with his mind, speech, sight, and action, everything was absorbed in Krishna at the time. And then he left his body. So this is the condition of Mahabharata. That at the time of death, everything is 100% absorbed in Krishna and nothing else. And this is what the teaching of Bhishma Dev is here. So we should always try to remember Krishna all this place. So Prabhupada writes in the purport, the stage attained by Vishwadev while quitting his material body is called Nirvikalpa Samadhi, because he merged himself into thinking of the Lord and his mind into remembering his different activities. He was always doing this, nothing else. He chanted the glories of the Lord, and by his sight, he began to see the Lord personally present before him, and thus all his activities became concentrated upon the Lord without deviation. This is the highest stage of perfection, and it is possible for everyone to attain this stage by practice of devotional service. Prabhupada is giving such a beautiful hope. This is a hope. The hope giving statement, isn't it? What is Prabhupada saying? Can you please read?
I'm sorry.
Can you please read the statement or just be read?
Yeah. This is the highest stage of perfection?
Yes, yeah, that's what.
This is the highest stage of perfection. It is possible for everyone to attain this stage by practice of devotional service.
Every one of us in this room and can attain this. It is nothing like impossible. Prabhupada is telling us. And Prabhupada's words are true words. So we all have hope. But what he's saying, we have to practice devotional service. This is important. Like anybody can get into the top university, but then you have to study that. That's it. Isn't it? That's what it is. So the devotional service of the Lord consists of 9 principles, which are here. Hearing, Shravanam Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Bhasyam, Sakhyam, Atmanivedanam. These are the way we can attain Krishna. So with this practice, if we continue, then we will go back to Krishna. And in the last statement, Prabhupada writes, the human form of life is especially meant for dying like Vishwadev. Dying like Vishwadev. So we all can live our own life, but we should die like Vishwadev. Always remembering Krishna all the time. 100%. Body, mind, speech, vision, everything in it. Okay, so we'll stop here. Srimad Bhavavatam ki, Sri Prabhupada ki, Gaur Bhaktavinda ki, Hare.
One of you said, serving the lotus feet is like living God's Krishna. So I cannot have understood, and understanding what it means by serving feet of.
That's right.